Everybody, we are back. It is Taped on Live, favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course pandasubs.com TDL for 35% off. So, we're doing the Jets today. Jets preview. You know what I'm saying? I did a little Q&A last night. It wasn't too many Jets questions about the Jets game. More draft questions. People they want to talk about the draft. But we're doing the Jets today. And, of course, Matt has a good side, the defense. I got the ugly side with the offense.
I don't know if it's the good side. It's more the scary side because, I mean, we're talking about a little bit like they got some players, dude. They got some dudes on all three levels, too. Like, we'll go through it in my clips. But, yeah, like, basically all three levels, they have playmakers, and they just swarm the ball like they're a pretty damn good team.
On offense, it's totally different. Offense, I think Nathaniel Hackett, I put this on Twitter. He is riding Aaron Rodgers because I have no idea how he has a job after Russell Wilson. He runs the same thing. It's the same short passing thing, and it's like just it doesn't matter what coverage the other team is playing. That's why I hope the Raiders play cover 2 this week. That's what they should do. I know Patrick Graham does have a lot of cover 2. He has a cover 2 history. I hope they do that, just like the Chargers did, because you play cover 2 against these guys, man. I don't know what the hell they're going to do. There's really nothing they can do. To be honest, it sounds crazy, Matt. But seriously, you play cover 2 against Nathaniel Hackett, you will shut down their passing game because he doesn't call the game towards the coverage. He just calls the game.
He just calls it how he's going to call it, kind of like someone else we know.
Yeah, exactly. And kind of just calls it how he's going to call it. It's not going to change. It's the same things. But if you play man to man, though, it might work with Garrett Wilson. You're going to see those slants and some of those quick outs. You're going to get to Garrett Wilson. But if you play cover 2, you're going to force Zach Wilson to throw into tight windows, and he's not allowed to do that either. So it works out, and I think that's what they got to do. Just play a lot of cover 2. Just play base cover 2. Just play, drop back cover 2. You're gonna get a pick.
My only concern is with how like shaky the Raiders defense is against the run and how good Breece Hall it can be, like taking the extra safety out of the box. But
that's true. But like third down, if you get a third down and long or anything like that, you got to be in C2, man, or something like that. Because I'm gonna show 2 games. I mean, the Eagles, they showed Zach Wilson no respect, and the Eagles lost. And the Chargers, they didn't show him respect. They just played cover 2, and it ended up being 27-6. So, I mean, there's 2 ways to look at it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I don't know what the hell. I don't know how Hackett has a job. Aaron Rodgers is crazy. He's psycho. The more I watched them, like Aaron Rodgers, you really ruined this team because you
kind of ruined in a way, he kind of ruined the Broncos too, because half the reason why the Broncos hired Hackett was to try and lure Rodgers over, right? I mean, that was always the rumor. And then
Hackett made so much money off Aaron Rodgers, bro.
Yeah.
And he's so bad. He is so bad. I don't understand it. Like, Zach Wilson gets killed, man, but there's like elements of like Zach Wilson. I'm like, okay, he's not that bad there. That looks pretty good. But it's just he gets no help because like there's just one play. I didn't show it, but there's this one play where he has to clutch because it's like he runs quick hitches all the time, and he clutches, and he's like, oh man, because it's about to be a pick 6 if he throws it, and then he has to force a check down real quick before he gets hit, and the offensive line's not good, so
it's a combo. It's just, I feel like the offensive line not being good, and I feel like I don't know. Curious what you think. Like he's a little slow to get through his progression. And I feel like that combo is. I mean, that's brutal.
Bad combo.
Yeah,
it's all bad. It's all bad over there. All right, how about we get into the defense first? Let's get into some defense. Let's just check this out, see what they're doing over there, and get Raiders fans a little scared for not having Colton Miller this week.
Yeah, because one of the things I definitely want to go over with this defense is not having how big it is to not have Colton Miller, because I think we've talked about this a little bit. This defensive line, they go about 8 deep, and they're pretty damn good. There's guys like Carl Lawson and Will McDonald who might be starters for other teams that don't even see the field. And, I mean, we'll kind of get a glimpse of that right here. One of the biggest things, or one of the things they like to do on like these third and long situations is line up is line up Jermaine Johnson over the guard as like a stand-up backer, and then put Bryce Huff in the game a little bit. Or excuse me, not Bryce. Is it Bryce Huff or Breece Hall? I have it down.
Breece Huff.
Yeah, that's right. Breece Hall's on the Raiders. And then this is the problem. So they're gonna run a little twist here. We get what, 3 out of 4 guys that end up winning. 3 out of the 4 rushers that they have, and then 2.
Wow.
I mean, on the back end, like, where are you gonna go? I mean, that's gone. That's gone. Like, we got the safety, got the corner at the top. We're just running simple cover 3, and the only thing they're gonna give you is this check down, and then they rally the ball. Now, one thing I do think the Raiders can kind of take advantage of is the Jets will kind of over pursue a little bit, and their DBs sometimes can like miss some tackles. That's why another reason why I think like, you know, quick game and a lot of screens is going to be a big part of the game plan. 2, and then in addition to that, you know, the pass rush. But even so, I mean, the Chargers were so far behind the sticks, I think it was 3rd and 15, that they can do it and get away with it because they do swarm to the ball. All right, so this one is actually going to be one of my quote-unquote favorite clips. I could put that in quotes because this is also the ones that scare me the most. The Jets here are going to rush 3 and then drop Solomon Thomas here in coverage. And I'll just let it run real quick. But this is kind of what I'm talking about. We have all 3 guys winning. And again, where are you going? The only thing that might be open is Gerald Everett here in the flat, but we also have the corner here that's squatting that can at least come take that away. So not only are they winning with 4, but when you rush 3, I mean, look what our guy Bryce Huff here does to Rashawn Slater, who's a former All-Pro at left tackle. Like, that's what starts to scare me a little bit. Jermaine Johnson wins there too. So, again, no Colton Miller's going to be big because at least if they can keep one guy down, that would help. And help especially on the interior guys. All right, so then this is the other part that kind of scares me with a little bit of the Jets defense. If you look up top here, like Quentin Johnston, I mean, he gets open, and he gets open deep late in this against this cover 3 look. The problem is, I'll back this up, and this time it only took 2 guys or 1 guy winning. We're gonna get, I think this is Franklin Myers, and then is that Jermaine Johnson on the inside? Yep. Run this little stunt. Both of them win and go meet at the sack. So again, the pass rush, especially with how good this defense is, even when the coverage breaks down and there's someone open down the field, like, don't have a ton of time to hit your drops there and push the ball down the field. I think this one will actually be the opposite. We're going to see the coverage kind of recover up for the pass rush here. No one really wins this time. They rush 4. I think Chargers even kept the tight end in the game in the protection scheme here. Yeah,
it's cover 6.
Yeah. Yep. Cover 6. Only thing that's open is this little curl route with Sauce on him. Sauce does what he does best, breaks on the route, and gets the PVU. Plays the hands well, plays through the back. So again, we just saw a clip before where the coverage had a little bit of a breakdown and the pass rush bailed them out, and then here's the other exact opposite way around. Break on the route and go get the go.
I mean, he could have hit the dig. I'm not gonna lie.
Think so?
Yeah, I think he could have hit the dig.
The problem is too, like, these 2 linebackers will show them a little bit. It's a little bit more better against the run. Like Quincy Williams or that CJ Mosley. They're pretty damn athletic.
Yeah. If you anticipated it, I don't know. But I'm just saying. Go ahead.
No, you're good. All right, then. Next one, we're going to get another one where sorry. Excuse me. Let me back this one up. All right, so this next clip is going to be cover 4 here from the Jets. And the Chargers actually have a pretty good play call. They have the outside receiver inside release and run this little curl route. And then have the back leak out to the flat, just kind of testing the Jets' ability to pick it up. As you can see, get the linebacker, and they execute the switch. Sauce gets them to have it, and they drive on the dig route. And you can see Herbert wants to pull it and pull the trigger and get to the dig route, but then not there. And again, Quentin Johnston, another former Raider, ends up stepping up and making the sack. So moving on a little bit to the running game. One of the things, this is actually the very first play of the game that the biggest guy you got to kind of keep account for is our good friend Quinn Williams. I think we saw him a little bit ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's going to go up against Zion Johnson here. Just bench press him off him. I mean, this is just beautiful. I'm stronger than you. I'm better than you. And I'm going to go make the play here. Like, beautiful. I mean, they're trying to run an ISO here too. And it just doesn't matter. And two, again, we'll see this again. They're going to swarm the ball. All right, so this next clip, I kind of want to show how quickly a little bit what I was just talking about with their linebackers being able to cover the ground. Quinn Williams' brother, he's actually having a hell of a year. The Chargers are going to run a little misdirection here. You can see like he gets him to move off of his spot and gets him in the position that they want him. Then he's able to put one foot in the ground. And I mean, he still meets Austin Eckler at the line of scrimmage. You can see Quinn Williams here too. He kind of works across, and I don't know if this might be a little bit of a stunt between him and the DN here. CJ Mosley's not far behind. Safety comes down too. Like these dudes like to swarm to the ball, and that's one of the biggest things I think that helps them and makes them a good run defense right here. Good run defense again. I think I messed this one up. Just the same play.
Yeah, might be.
No, it's not the same play. Nope.
Okay.
No, we're good. So, yeah, this time they're going to try and run duo, get a little double team here on Quinn Williams. Kicks him inside a little bit. But that guy's so good, he's able to recover. Two, we get to see CJ Mosley simultaneously. He kind of works over the top of that center's block.
Mm-hmm.
Quincy Williams, he even gets over the top of Rashawn Slater. Again, 3 hats to the ball.
Good Lord.
So this is what I'm talking about. These linebackers can make plays too. 95, that guy's a stud. Every time he's in the game, you almost have to have 2 people on him. Pretty good D-line, man. All right, we'll see it again. This time they're going to run that same misdirection play. Quincy Williams doesn't bite on it. Has that speed, athleticism to come downhill. I mean, Gerald Everett, we got to get a little bit better of an effort there too.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like same thing. Like even if Everett makes this block and gets Quincy Williams, we got Quinn Williams working over the top. CJ Mosley coming in. I don't know who that is. Oh, that's Reed, the corner, coming in at the top. So they just swarm to the ball, which is, again, a good sign of a good run defense, good sign of a good coach team, and like they're hard to beat, man. Okay, this one going to be the last one we watch for today. The Chargers are going to try and get a little tricky here with the run to Johnston, but John Franklin Myers, he gets into Trey Pipkins, sets the edge there, forces the cutback. We can see both Quincy Williams and CJ Mosley beat their lineman over the top, force the cutback again and again. Now we got 4 hats to the ball. I mean, this is the perfect example of team defense. We got one guy doing his job, 2, 3 other people coming in, swarming against the ball. Like, tell you, man, this defense is legit. I know their offense is holding them back, and we'll get to see that a little bit there too. But stop.
Yeah, man, because watching that, I was like, man, so they're pretty damn good against the run, and they're pretty damn good against the pass. So hopefully the Raiders have a damn good game plan. They stopped the Eagles. The Eagles got shut down. I mean, Jalen Hurts threw like 3 interceptions that game. Patrick Mahomes didn't play well against him. Justin Herbert did not play well against him. I can keep going, I think. I don't think any quarterbacks really played well against him this year that I could think of. Like, I don't know what quarterback went out there and like picked them apart, right? So I mean, I think it's gonna be a little bit of a long day for Aiden O'Connell. I don't think it's gonna be a fun day for him, but we'll see. Because especially if they can't run the ball, man, and watching those run, those run blocking, man, and the way they defended the run, and seeing those linebackers kind of make those moves and get past people, and we don't have the run game, the run blocking has not been great. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how the Raiders attack these guys, man. I think you're gonna see a lot of screens, a lot of wide receiver screens.
Yeah,
a lot of those type of plays. Because even talking to the Jets guys, a lot of people necessarily point out that they suck against screens.
Yeah, they are. That's, I think, part of it too. Is like when I was talking about the only negative of like having a defense that's so aggressive with swarming to the ball is like sometimes you over pursue. You know what I mean? Or sometimes you come in too hot, and that if you can use that against them, that's the best way to do it. Is to get them moving laterally, and then so that you can make someone miss, and hope someone breaks one off.
Yeah, or some draw plays too. I think run some
Yeah.
draws too might help. Because these guys, especially I see Jermaine Johnson just taking off right from them inside. They were playing him mostly inside.
No, they play him on the edge. They just put him on the inside. They'll do that sometimes with as a change of pace, like on third downs with the Huff. They like putting those two guys on stunts, or at least they did last week.
Yeah, because to me that's like his growth is kind of like what you want Tyree Wilson to see, because him and Tyree Wilson are kind of like the same build, kind of same edge, kind of stiffness kind of type of thing, right? And he wasn't very good last year, and he's pretty damn good this year. So
he's starting this year. Yeah, he's been having a pretty good year.
Yeah. All right. So that was the defense. Let's get into this offense, which is not scary at all. All right, guys. So let's get into some Jets offense here. And we're going to start with the run game, right? I mean, the run game is probably what the Jets are going to try to do to the Raiders, because the Raiders can't stop the run. I mean, let's just keep it real. And they have Breece Hall. See, these guys, they have too many Bryces and Halls on this team. Breece Hall, okay, is probably the dangerous guy on this team. He's probably I can say he's the most dangerous guy in this offense, because I still think it's Garrett Wilson, but he is the most dangerous guy for the Raiders, because Dalvin Cook, he can't run. So I'm not gonna show any Dalvin Cook, because he's worthless. I'm sorry, he is.
Damn.
He is, man. He's like he can't move, he can't run. All right, so Breece Hall, he has really great vision. He makes guys miss. So you see here on this run, some duo here, right? See the kind of the vision, the way he kind of sets up, make this guy commit, and then he's able to hit this hole really quickly and make another guy miss. So the Raiders are gonna have to tackle him, man. If they can't tackle him, it's gonna be a long day for them. So we'll see it again. All right, pretty good block here from 78. Somebody holds in this play, but probably 87. But you see how he kind of you see the vision that he has, right? And we're the Raiders, and we're not gonna get these holding calls as much. So, but kind of see what he can do and what he can bring to the table, right? All right, so next one. Go, you say something, Matt? Go ahead.
No, you're good.
All right, next one here. All right, a little outside zone on this one, split outside zone. You see how they got to kind of get jet sweep behind it. So pretty good design. And you see here, nice job. That's great patience on this one. So bring it back. Great patience. Able to see the cutback, see the lane right there, and just hit it, and then get about 8 yards there. So kind of see his ability in outside zone, the great vision he has. Right there. I mean, that cutback is right there. He sees it immediately. He presses the hole enough to open up that cutback even more. This is a good job by whoever that is to beat that cutback block. But that's a good run right there. And then they like these tosses. They're gonna get outside, so they're gonna do this right at Marcus Peters. You know what's gonna happen, man. You know it is.
Oh, for sure.
All right, so you get outside. You see they get these big guys outside. They might run into Becton too. Becton is playing. It's a big dude on the move. But, they're probably going to go at Peters more than often. But you see right there, you see that move that he put on Eric Kendricks? Go back. Yeah. It's nasty, bro. he's pretty special out there. Look at that. Kendricks spin right past him. So, I mean, the run game, they're gonna smash this, man. I'm telling you, bro, those crack tosses too. I think they're gonna do a lot of those crack tosses. They're gonna get these guys outside and mixing it up that way. So, this is what the Raiders have to stop. The Raiders have to focus on this, but you also have to, not have to worry about Garrett Wilson too a little bit. So you can't just stack the box with the corners the Raiders have, because I don't know how that's going to work too much. So it's going to be interesting to see how they work this. You see it right here. Even with the split inside zone, you get a free guy. He's still able to make that guy miss and find a way to get some positive yardage there. So I mean, he doesn't have to have a great offensive line all the time. He can make it happen. But I mean, he's a pretty consistent running back. It's consistency. He's a good back, man. I mean, you see here getting a little inside zone on this one, and you see able to set up blocks, able to cut back, and then he's able to hit this lane, come back inside, and get 6. So it's consistent. And I think Max Mitchell, this guy, he's back this week, so he'll be playing right tackle, right? But you see even Lakin Tomlinson, I guess he's not having a good year. That was a good block by him. So they have a chance to get after this offensive line a little bit, and then he can make some plays in the passing game too. See here, a little play action right here, right. And of course, Zach Wilson's not going to throw it deep. He probably has this guy maybe on this, but he's not going to throw that deep. He's going to throw it right to Breece Hall right there.
Not a bad guy to throw to.
Nah. And then you get what? 19 yards. 20, 19, yeah. So that is typical of this offense, okay? Is a lot of Breece Hall. All right, so now let's get into Nathaniel Hackett and Zach Wilson, okay, in the passing game, and we'll get to this pass rush. So this play right here, I wish I put some angles on here, or some dynamics, whatever. But this is the play they smash. They play this play all the time, okay? It is a out and a go, okay? Out, go, all the time. Okay, that's why you should play cover 2 against them. They end up beating it on this coverage, but you kind of see how this works. Okay, so out, go. All right, and it's going right into the cover 2 coverage. Right, you see Asante Samuel, he's ready for it because he probably knows it's a go. I'm getting out. You see how he looks?
Yeah, you can jump.
Raiders have to do. Yeah, he's ready to jump it. He said as soon as he saw this guy even go past him a little bit, he turned around. It was like automatic because he knows that what's coming. But Zach Wilson does a good job of hitting that over the top. But, that's a tight window. We want him to try to make those throws because he might miss one. And that's a pick for Moray, right? So you want him to try to take these chances because he doesn't do it really a lot and doesn't do it often. But you want to force him to do that. But they smash this play over and over and over and over again. So that's why I want the Raiders to play a lot of cover 2 on these type of downs, or even try to find a way. I know that the Chargers, they don't care. We're going to play, we're playing 6 in the box no matter who we're playing. We don't give a damn. But I know the Raiders want to do that. And what I also thought was interesting just watching this? Zach Wilson has a lot of control of the offensive line for somebody they don't want throwing interceptions. So you give him control at the line, but he can't control where he throws the ball. It's weird.
Interesting.
It was. He changed a lot of plays, and I was like, so what is happening? All right. But one thing I want to point out too is you have to give them respect, because you kind of see what the Eagles are doing, right? You're going to see this safety creep up right here. And, they're blitzing everybody because Garrett Wilson, who's right here, this is Garrett Wilson right here, guys. He is still there. This is a simple slant flat. You have to respect Garrett Wilson. If you don't respect Garrett Wilson, he's going to do what he did against the Eagles, which is this. In this off coverage, they run the same plays, man. It's slant flat. Come on, dog. This is what I'm talking about. That's why you got to run cover 2, because you're just giving them these schemes that they run. This is like the most 80s West Coast offense I've ever watched. I feel like I was watching Bill Walsh versus the Cowboys 1984 or something. Seriously, that's what I felt like when I was watching this. It's just archaic, right? And he gets the blitz, and Zach Wilson, he still has a quick release. He still can throw the ball pretty well. If you don't respect Garrett Wilson, this is what will happen to you. So you will see one more time. We're seeing these guys are coming up. They're playing man to man again, and right there goes Garrett Wilson. Boom, catch. They're playing off coverage. I think this looks like cover 3, right? So playing some off coverage, cover 3, right? And you kind of just, if you leave Garrett Wilson with these type of looks, especially against this offense, it looks like it's still man though. Yeah, it looks like against this type of offense, and you give him this kind of room that Bradbury is. I'm not gonna say that name right. I don't care. 24 is doing. You leave Garrett Wilson wide open. Yeah.
I feel like you got to get in his face a little bit.
Yeah, you got to do something to what these guys want to do, and we'll get into it a little bit later. Because if you just leave it like this, he's just gonna throw them. He's gonna throw to Garrett Wilson. That's where he's going to. You see it here, because even he looks to him where he's trying to make plays. So you see Wilson. I'll bring it back a little bit. So Garrett Wilson he's down here at the bottom here. And you see how he kind of just gets open again, right, and kind of just gets some movement. Nobody's following him. He's wide open, and of course Zach Wilson's gonna find him. And not the greatest throw in the world, but Garrett Wilson, he's a pretty damn good receiver. You can see what he could do with the ball in his hands. And that was the ultimate crackback block by Allen Lazard. Watch Lazard right here.
I remember watching this play live.
That's a penalty.
Drew one from the other side of the field.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Blankenship looks like he's a lot paid. All right, so let's get into why I call this offense archaic, because they like to do this too. Like all hitches, we're getting all hitches here. Hitch, all hitches across the board, and of course, like I said, the Chargers, we're gonna play right in your face and play these coverages and play these short things. I hope the Raiders watch this game, right? Because this is how you play this offense. And you see, he's sitting on it. Michael Davis, he ain't moving nowhere. You see Asante Samuel, he's already looking for the ball. Look at Asante, he's already looking for the ball, and the ball's out already, and they're breaking on it. And of course, Lazard, he can't catch a football because he's not very good. So, yeah, I mean, the really guy you only got to worry about is Wilson. I mean, Lazard he's out on Lazard. He doesn't have Aaron Rodgers, so he's gonna drop some balls. But see how they broke on that ball really quickly. That's what you want. You want to do that and play these type of coverages against them because they play all this short stuff. Now, here's another one. All right, which I don't understand the scheme. It's like, who's open here? I'm gonna bring this back, right? So you got Zach Wilson. They're doing basically. I'm gonna watch this one more time so I can get this for you guys. All right. So basically, you see, you got Wilson. He's gonna be running a mini post. You got basically a choice route in front of this, and then another post behind it. And this is cover two. You know what I mean? They're playing cover two. This is not a cover two beater, in my opinion. I just don't feel like when you have a dropping linebacker in cover two, that this is just not the greatest thing in the world. And then you have this guy right here. He's playing this. So there's nothing open here. There's literally nothing.
Yeah, that's
not a damn thing. Right? And Zach should have threw it here. I don't know why he throws it over here. I don't know. You should have threw it here just to get some yards because it's second down. But this is what I'm talking about. You can try to get him to make some mistakes just because sometimes he's going to try to throw it into tight windows because he really has no choice. And there's nobody really open here, and it almost gets picked.
Yeah, I feel like he's always had that problem of trusting his arm too much, like thinking he can make that throw. That's not exactly an easy throw to make.
Yeah, and he tried to throw it over Kendricks too, which is, it didn't work, of course. But you see here, it just you got to throw it to 82, Zach. You got to throw it to 82. All right, here we go. Here's another one. I want to show this one. So this is me talking about Zach Wilson doesn't like to throw deep. Okay, so we're getting basically an out here, but we're getting kind of a post over the top, and the Chargers are going to be in basically kind of the quarters, little cover 7 type of thing. So that's why you see Jerwin James roaming out here, right? So since James is roaming, this post is just wide open. I don't know why Zach doesn't throw this. And he looks at it. I see you. I caught you. Right? He just doesn't throw it. I mean, that is a big play, man. He's going this way. Derwin James, I mean, he's not going to get there. I don't know what he saw on what he didn't like, but he should do that ball. And that's kind of the dynamic of him not really testing windows. So you're not going to get a lot of deep passes from him. I showed it a little earlier, him testing a window, but it's not often. And he kind of just turns down things. He's going to take the safe route because that's how they're coaching him. They're like, be safe, be safe, be safe, be safe. Don't throw a pick. Don't throw a pick. Because he should throw that ball. Throw it. Throw it, Zach. Throw it. I know you see it. No, just let's get 10. Let's get 10 here. Get a nice little 10. All right, but then the offensive line is just bad. So let's talk about that. I know this guy's not playing, but I don't think it's really going to matter. Max Mitchell is have fun with Max Crosby. Max Mitchell. It's going to be Max on Max crime, I believe. So you see here, this is just basically easy.
Jesus.
Right? Is Nick Bosa just mauling him over. And this is what I'm talking about. Also is how Nathaniel Hackett doesn't help Zach Wilson because Zach Wilson's supposed to get rid of this ball. And you can see that he can't because there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And sack. He just gets hit by every Chargers player. Oh, man. It's just bad. As soon as he hits his drop, he doesn't even get a chance to even go through his reads at all. It's a party at the quarterback. All right, so here's another one here. This was a fumble. So I wanted to show this one because it's the same thing with Zach Wilson. He tries to. So we're gonna show the concept here, and the plan. Right. See how they're jumping everything, jumping on the short routes. Right.
Yep,
So
yep.
he wants here. Right. Jumping everything. Of course, we got the out and the go on this side. I want to show there's the out and the go again. There it is. We got out and the go, out and the go, out. Same two players too. Out and go, same players. And just flip the play. We flipped it here, guys. We just flipped it. We just did like a flip play. You know, you playing Madden, you just hit R2, flip the play. That's what you did right here. We flipped it. We're gonna go to this side with it. And Zach Wilson wants to go over here, right? But I mean, he could have, in my opinion, maybe he could have just, kind of forced that in there. Maybe with a good throw, he could have got a completion.
A good non-time throw, yeah.
Yeah, right. So he tries to come back here, and there's this guy sitting right here on this one. They're running a little quick in. Nothing there. And sack fumble. So like I said, like the reason why he didn't throw to Garrett Wilson here, though, is because he didn't want to force it, right? He doesn't take chances. Because if he does miss, what happens? It's so close, it's tight. If he misses, it's a pick. So he knows that. So he's not trying to throw interceptions, and the Raiders have to take advantage of that and play tight coverage, like what the Chargers are doing, and mix it up. And see that they got the safeties coming down and playing a lot of these short things and mix it up that way. And you see Derwin James, he comes right back. I'm sure he's coming guarding that guy, but it's all in this area and covering these short passes, and then Zach Wilson gets sacked. Yeah, I mean that's so. If the Raiders played good coverage and they mixed it up, right? Because I mean, that's what I'm saying. Gilman's all the way over there. You got Derwin James up here, right? Kind of maybe showing a blitz a little bit, showing some man, kind of, but it really isn't. It's just him playing a lot of short stuff, right? He's just mixing it up. I mean, that could be Nate Hobbs doing some of these things, right? You could have Marcus Epps or Trayvon Moehrig do a lot of these things and play a lot of these short passes. And, I'll go back. And it just makes Zach Wilson hold the football. So he just holds the ball. He's trying to go, where do I go? Where do I go? No, it's sack fumble.
Damn.
Right, and this one is this is another meeting at the quarterback here. Everybody meeting at the QB. Play action. Right? We're all meeting at the quarterback, guys. You got tight ends, Khalil Mack. Yeah, this guy's with his side. It's a party at the quarterback. So I know this guy's not playing, right? And I don't think it's gonna matter. I don't think it's gonna make a difference. I'm just gonna tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Right. Look at Tule. Tule got some bend, man. Look at that.
Oh, that's dirty, dude. I feel like we almost watched like the same clips, like back to back. Like there was not much difference between watching like the Jets defense and the Chargers like defense against the Jets offense. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. It's a toss up. It's gonna be an interesting game.
Yeah, man. I think in this game, the defense has to make some plays.
Yeah,
we need a sack fumble from Max Crosby. That's what I need. Like, in Raiders territory, a sack fumble, kind of make a play that way, get some Raiders some easy drives where they can get some field goals if they can't move the football, where they can get those type of things, or maybe get an easy touchdown, things like that. Because if the Raiders are expecting to go down the field on these guys and that's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
I feel like you nailed it. Like, it'll probably be like a matter of like who can make the most momentum changing plays on defense. Like, if the Jets can get to Aiden O'Connell and get fumbles and interceptions, get great turnovers, and give Zach Wilson a chance, then obviously they'll swing in their way. I feel like we can see like a couple big defensive plays really define this game.
Yeah, the Raiders. That's what I'm saying. The Raiders got to take advantage if they get their hands on the ball too. They got to take advantage. They got to catch that ball, and the defense is gonna have to make some plays this game.
Yeah,
to win this game. I mean, that's just how it is, and they're gonna give you some. They are. I mean, I think Zach Wilson, just if you play the right coverage and you make him hold the ball, yeah, you can get some sack fumbles from him, or a sack, or something to change the game, and get you good field position. Whatever you got to do, the Raiders defense is gonna have to come to play and make some damn plays. And that's just the way it is.
For sure.
All right. Any other thoughts, Matt?
Not really, man.
Not really, man. This game is going to be a toss-up. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? I don't know. Maybe Aiden O'Connell is the truth, bro. He just comes out and he chops these guys up.
Maybe. I'm not holding my breath on it.
Maybe.
And I don't mean that as a slight to Aiden O'Connell. I just mean that as someone who watched this defense and watched them rack up 36 pressures against the Chargers offensive line, which has some decent players on it. And Raiders being down manned is not confident.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can rank your quarterbacks, right? And talk about the quarterbacks that are played. You could rank them. You Josh Allen. You put Josh Allen up there. He do 3 picks. Jalen Hurts, 3 interceptions. Justin Herbert. I don't know if he do a pick. Did he throw a pick?
He didn't. He managed to not make a mistake. That was his biggest thing against the Jets. Like, that was very clearly their game plan.
He was like 10 for 25 though, wasn't he? He was like 10 for 25 or something crazy.
It was. He just didn't he didn't throw any dangerous passes basically because there wasn't much going on. Like that one, like that dig you were talking about. Like that's where I was kind of like, I don't know. I feel like they're like, just take the sack, man. They're not going to do anything offensively. He did get sacked 8 times.
Yeah, that would be true. And then Mahomes, he had 2 interceptions. So we can't expect that much from Aiden O'Connell when the best quarterbacks in football are struggling, right?
Yeah.
So I don't expect that much from him this week. He's going to get some leeway from me. He's a rookie against some monsters over there. So this is a leeway for me this week. I'm not going to get too much on him if he plays terrible or if he has a bad game because everybody's had a bad game against them. So it'll be normal. It would be, it's just nothing you really do about it. All right, guys, we're out of here. Like I said, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Check out this preview. Hopefully the Raiders can pull it out. Like I said, defense got to make some plays in this game to win this. So hopefully they do that. Hopefully Max solidifies defensive player of the year. That's what we need. But hit the subscribe button. Subscribe, guys. We're out of here. Peace.